Hello and welcome to moneycontrol.com. Managing people is increasingly becoming a challenge in this dynamic environment, especially in a country like India where growth opportunities are abundant. Today we have with us Mr. Karpe, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director at Aptech Computers, who will share his thoughts on this with us. Thank you, Mr. Karpe, to be on our show today. Let me begin by asking you, what according to you is the most important leadership quality?
I think in today's time, the most important leadership quality is collaboration. And I'll elaborate what I mean by collaboration. Earlier we used to talk a lot about partnerships, internal partnerships, external partnerships. Collaboration is a much larger concept. We're talking not just collaboration with people, internal, external, but also virtual collaboration. So the impact of the digital world is enormous, and that impact all CEOs need to consider and adopt as part of the strategy. So collaboration includes digital collaboration, it includes collaboration with people to take them to a strategy objectives, as well as external people, whether it's the partners, whether it's distributors, vendors, so entire community, then stakeholders, shareholders. So it's all collaboration is now, to my mind, the most important quality.
Then what about decision making?
Becoming more and more complex. Earlier if there was, let's say, 10 parameters on which one could take a decision, today there are probably 50. Tomorrow there could be 100. I always give the example of Steve Jobs. He doesn't rely on any market research or any analytics. He just brings products to the market, and he's a classic example of how supply can create demand. Traditionally, demand creates supply. So I'm not a big fan of a lot of analysis. I personally feel that that leads to a lot of analysis paralysis. I'm of course a fan of some bit of thought and process, but eventually you have to take a call quickly on some bit of hunch and some bit of risk as well.
So what would you call yourself? Are you one of those who's a very quick decision maker or a thorough one?
Both are not against each other, but I would not say I take a lot of time, or again, I'm not a big fan of too much of, as I said earlier, analysis paralysis. So I do listen to all my people, what do they have to say, and after that I do take decisions quickly.
How experimental do you need to be when it comes to managing ideas? As in, are you comfortable with some degree of ambiguity if it means that there's a possibility of change for the better?
Yes, I am. Actually, in today's world, ambiguity is important. The times of definite yes or no are probably over, and markets change, thoughts change, ideas change rapidly. Every day there's a new idea, a new thought. So some bit of ambiguity is required, some bit of freedom is required in the decision-making process. It just can't be in four corners.
So what model of communication do you use when you're communicating with your employees, ensuring a two-way communication?
It's not easy because there are a lot of them, but I do a couple of things. Of course I have a blog, and people are free to post their comments on my blog, which I write regularly. I walk around all the time, I meet employees, I meet partners. Other thing which I have started is what I call Coffee with Karpe. Whereby I allow employees to have a cup of coffee with me, and every Friday at a scheduled time, irrespective of the level of the employee, if he makes a request to come and join me for a cup of coffee, I spend half an hour, 45 minutes with anyone who requests. So I've met a lot of people on Coffee with Karpe. Other important thing I do is first thing I come to office in the morning, I call every employee whose birthday is on that day. These are ways in which you can emotionally connect with people. These are not necessarily everything, but these are some of the ways I do it.
Are you the one who would persuade and influence, or the one who would command and control?
I think the days of command and control are over with King Alexander. He came to India and went back. I think today's time you have to have some bit of command, but today is the time when every person has got access to almost the same level of information which you have because of the digital world. So in that sense, you have to persuade people to come with you. But eventually, if there are conflicts, if there are dissensions and people have different views, I have to come and tell them that this is the way to go. But again, persuasion is the best way to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Karpe, for being on our show today.
Thank you so much.
It was indeed a pleasure interviewing you. I'm sure all of us will agree that CEOs today need to be open-minded and inventive in expanding their management and communication styles. This in order to engage a new generation of employees, partners, and of course customers.